is out of control.
As Sabrina Wilson reports, they say political leaders and society as a whole can help reduce such violence.
The violent attack on Capitol police officers, the attempted assassination of President Trump, the June fatal shooting of Minnesota's Democratic House Speaker and her husband, nearly 200 shots fired at the CDC headquarters, and now the killing of conservative influencer Charlie Kirk. As he spoke to thousands, experts say it's undeniable that political violence in the U.S. is on the rise.
Well, it's not a matter of opinion. I think it's a matter of fact. I think over the last 5 years, the numbers have shown how dramatically, in terms of violence, has increased politically.
We have to condemn this violence. It is a lose-lose situation if, in the aftermath of an event like this, instead of condemning the violence and looking for solutions.
William Braniff is executive director of the Polarization and Extremism Research Innovation Lab at American University. He recently stepped down as the director of the Center for Prevention Programs and Partnership at DHS.
So I led this kind of effort at DHS. We funded 1,172 interventions for people who were exhibiting behavioral indicators associated with violence, and 93.5% of those people got help.
He says red flags shouldn't be ignored.
Targeted violence like this is preventable. 80% of school shooters leak their intent before they do it. 50% of mass casualty attackers leak their intent. They make a general veiled threat, or they start exhibiting indicators like isolation, depression, and fixation on former attacks.
Dr. Ashraf Ismail is a Dillard criminologist and sociologist.
People are afraid to go into politics now because they're in fear of being attacked.
Dr. Ismail says there hasn't been this kind of political violence in the U.S. since the 1960s, when the civil rights movement was underway.
When we had the assassination of Martin Luther King and Robert F. Kennedy, as well.
They say politicians have a role to play in choosing how they speak.
So yes, we have freedom of speech in this country, but that's a kind of lowest common denominator sort of thing. Leaders should live up to the responsibility of leading their community in a better direction.
Parents lead, we follow. It's the same thing with politically.
Braniff says social media has made it worse and says we all have to take ownership on where we consume news and what we amplify. Ismail says social media is a big driver of the violence because people can post whatever they want. John.